Yeah, so this is a kind of a project I work on since 2016 now, around 1 year. And I call this project Introduction to Posthuman Aesthetics. It's a kind of big project, and it includes many different things. First of all, what I mean with Introduction to Posthuman Aesthetics, I mean the discourses basically existing in artistic practices, artistic discourses about contemporary times, about life and about posthuman state, let's say. So these discourses have many different paths, and I want to concentrate on these discourses. And I think that these discourses I propose are part of the umbrella discourse which is called posthumanism. And posthumanism is referred to different people, maybe. It could be like Catherine Hales, and it could be Rosie Braidotti and Donna Haraway, and many other people who work in this domain. So my posthuman introduction to posthuman aesthetics is all about these discourses. And what you see here on the table, I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 toolkits, and I think altogether in my project will be like 9 to 10 toolkits focusing on different discourses. These toolkits are now kind of a collection of tools for people to build things themselves and to discuss issues related to one or another topic. So, for example, this one, this is probably the most sophisticated toolkit, which is about cloning myself. I call it How Do I Prepare Myself to Be Cloned? And I do this research in order to understand how far I can go with DIY methodology, how much I can understand about which is fun, which is all about life, you know. So for me it is very important how far I can go with understanding in do-it-yourself way the mechanism of cloning animals, let's say. And I want to clone myself in this case, and I want to also modify myself. Not myself or my offspring, let's say. GFP modification. I think, I want my offspring being GFP, fluorescent. Yeah, and I have more toolkits. So this one is focusing on cloning myself, and another one is focusing on the energy. This one is focusing on the energy, which is very simple, is still to be developed, and I developed it together with Elizabeth McTurnan. This toolkit is basically a collection of tools in order to make proto-photography. And the proto-photography is about cyanotype, basically, photography, which makes the photos bluish, kind of, right? It's very simple. It needs just two to chemicals. And then, of course, the light, which makes your photos exposed. So, yeah, very easy way in order to make like photos. The next toolkit is also a collaboration with another artist, Lina Rokevičiūtė, and we call it Cheating the Game. And this toolkit is about immortality, because one of the most important topics right now what we have is immortality. We try to make us living forever. It's not only we talk about, let's say, artificial intelligence, it is also about keeping us alive all the time. And we do it from different perspectives. In one case it is like artificial intelligence, in another case maybe we can use different methodologies, like in ancient Egypt people were mummified, for example, right? And within this posthuman age, let's say, people want to be maybe merged to the machines, or let's say the consciousness could be downloaded, right, into the computer. Yeah, many discourses around this topic, like including Kurzweil's concept of singularity. Yeah, the other toolkits do different things or propose different things. For example, this one is about collaboration, let's say, or symbiosis. Maybe a small correct word to describe this toolkit, symbiosis. And in this toolkit I play with let's say kombucha and SCOBY. SCOBY stands for symbiosis of yeast and bacteria, right? And here we have different kind of chemicals, and we explain people how to, for example, how to make kombucha tea, how to ferment tea, and on another case I explain also how to grow bacteria or isolate bacteria and grow colonies of bacteria. And these bacteria, when isolated, will be responsible for cellulose, basically, Acetobacter bacteria. Yeah, so this toolkit, while playing with bacteria and yeast, separating, isolating them, growing them, I would teach people, let's say, to think of symbiosis between different types of organisms. And of course, to think about ourselves at the same time. Because our body is also containing many bacteria and yeasts, right? So we live in a kind of symbiosis. Yeah, our toolkits are introducing again different topics. So for example, this one, I'm very proud of it. It introduces microvoltage kind of situations, because organisms, all living organisms, are able to produce a little electricity, right? And with this toolkit I introduce mainly 3 workshops. One of the workshops is how to light up LED, having just only your own body without having any battery. And then another workshop is to listen crystal radio, so you don't need a battery for itself. Crystal radio is a kind of let's say, proto-radio. The waves are just caught and transduced into the waves in order to be listened. And the third workshop is to combine those two things, like light and radio, and to make a kind of DJ set, so a concert. Imagine being in the uninhabited island, and you need to play with sound and video, having no battery. So use just your own body, right? This toolkit is introducing plant conversations. So the idea introduced in the sciences, it is a pretty new discourse in sciences that plants communicate using, for example, mycelium network. So this toolkit is introducing mycelium network, or conversation between plants over mycelium network. And within these workshops, I show how to basically grow mycelium and what does it stand for. For example, mycelium decomposes cellulose, right? Or like heavy metals could be as well, and makes from that soils. And those soils then could be used for planting plants or whatever. And in this case, this is a salad. And then, after you get plants grown, you can use electrodes, and you can connect those electrodes to computer and see what happens within the organisms. The organisms are active, of course, all the time. They kind of exchange information between themselves, and in this case, I can talk to people about those mechanisms, like mycelium being used for information exchange. And this is the last toolkit, which is about matter. And this toolkit stands for distillation. It is done in collaboration with another artist, Matthias Roth, and basically with these tools it's possible to distill some alcohol or to distill some water. It depends what temperatures are being used. So altogether, these toolkits basically could be kept in the kitchen, and you don't need to have sophisticated big places in order to do experiments, like even, let's say, cloning myself. I will not be able, of course, to clone myself in the kitchen, but I could modify bacteria and make it GFP grow, or I can produce some alcohols from fermented liquids, like in this case, kombucha. Kombucha could be used for distilling, for example, alcohol, right?